The morning sun cut through the glass doors of First National Bank, casting long shadows across the polished marble floor. Marcus Webb, 17 years old, pushed through the entrance with careful steps. His sneakers, once white but now gray and splitting at the seams, squeaked against the pristine surface. The soles flapped slightly with each step, held together by duct tape that had seen better days. His jeans were clean but faded, patched at the knees. His jacket, 2 sizes too large, had been his older brother's before deployment. The lobby smelled of expensive cologne and fresh coffee. Crystal chandeliers hung from the vaulted ceiling, their light reflecting off brass railings and mahogany desks. Business people in sharp suits moved with purpose, their leather briefcases and polished shoes clicking authoritatively. Marcus clutched a worn envelope in his hand, the paper soft from being folded and unfolded countless times. Inside were documents, instructions, and a small key. Gerald Hutchins stood near the loan department, his belly pressing against his tailored vest. He had worked at this bank for 23 years, climbed from teller to manager through connections and tenure rather than competence. His eyes swept the lobby with practiced authority, and they landed on Marcus. Gerald's expression shifted, his mouth curving into something between amusement and disgust. "Bob," Gerald called out, his voice carrying across the quiet space. Several customers turned to look. "Bob, are you lost? The community center is 3 blocks down." Marcus stopped, his jaw tightening. He had expected this. His grandmother had warned him. "I'm here to access my account, sir." Gerald laughed, a sharp bark that echoed off the walls. He walked closer, his shoes clicking deliberately. "Your account? Son, look at yourself. Look at those shoes." He pointed, and several customers followed his gesture. "Those things are held together with tape. You think we serve people who can't even afford proper footwear?" "I have an account here," Marcus repeated, his voice steady despite the heat rising in his chest. "I need to speak with someone about my grandmother's estate transfer." "Estate transfer," Gerald mocked, looking around at the growing audience. "Let's reach. Listen, kid, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but this bank serves serious clients with serious money. Not kids who wander in off the street looking for handouts." A woman in a pearl necklace shifted uncomfortably. An elderly man frowned but said nothing. The security guard near the door watched but didn't move. Marcus took a breath, remembering his grandmother's words. "Dignity isn't given, baby. It's claimed. Stand tall, speak clear, and never let them make you small." He straightened his shoulders. "Sir, I'm a customer. I have documentation. I'm asking, respectfully, to be served." Gerald's face reddened. "You're asking for trouble is what you're doing. Now get out before I have security remove you for loitering." "Is there a problem here?" Sarah Chan approached from the teller station, her voice cutting through the tension. She was young, maybe mid-20s, with sharp eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. She had watched the entire exchange, her discomfort growing with each passing second. "No problem, Sarah. Just explaining to this young man that he's in the wrong place." Gerald waved dismissively. "He says he has an account," Sarah said, looking directly at Marcus. "Did you check?" "I don't need to check. Look at him. Mr. Hutchins, bank policy requires us to verify before turning anyone away." Sarah's voice remained professional, but there was steel underneath. "It takes 30 seconds. Gerald's nostrils flared. "Fine. Waste your time. Just make it quick so we can get back to actual business." Sarah gestured for Marcus to follow her to the counter. He could feel every eye in the lobby tracking his movement. The flapping of his shoe sounded impossibly loud. At the counter, Sarah pulled up her terminal. "Name, please." "Marcus Webb. The account was established by my grandmother, Dorothy Webb. She passed away 6 weeks ago. The estate lawyer said the transfer was completed last Friday." Sarah's fingers flew across the keyboard. She typed the name, hit enter, and her eyes went to the screen. Her expression froze. Her mouth opened slightly. She blinked, looked away, then looked back at the screen as if it might have changed. She whispered. She leaned closer to the monitor, scrolling down. Her hands were shaking slightly. What's taking so long? Gerald called from across the lobby. I told you, he doesn't have anything. Sarah didn't respond. She picked up her phone, dialed an internal extension. Mr. Patterson. This is Sarah at Station 3. I need you down here immediately, please. Yes, sir. Right now. It's urgent. Marcus watched her face. She wouldn't look at him directly now, as if afraid of what she might reveal. Gerald walked over, confident and smirking. What's the holdup, Sarah? Just tell the kid there's no account and send him on his way. Sarah turned her monitor slightly. Gerald leaned in, squinting at the screen. The color drained from his face like water from a broken glass. His mouth worked silently, opening and closing. His hand gripped the counter edge. That can't be right, he whispered. That's impossible. Check again. I've checked 3 times, Sarah said quietly. The account is valid. The transfer cleared Friday at 3:47 p.m. Everything is verified and documented. How much? The woman with pearls asked from behind them, curiosity overcoming discretion. Sarah glanced at Marcus, who nodded slightly. The account balance is $4.7 million. The lobby went silent. Completely, utterly silent. Someone's phone clattered to the floor. Gerald staggered back, his face now cycling from white to red. No, that's a mistake. Run the social security number. Check the identification. May I see your ID, please? Sarah asked Marcus gently. Marcus pulled out his wallet, extracted his state ID, and placed it on the counter. Sarah scanned it, compared it to the account information, and nodded. Everything matches perfectly. Marcus Webb, date of birth correct, social security number verified. The account holder and sole beneficiary. Mr. Patterson arrived, a tall black man in his 50s with graying temples and an immaculate suit. He was the regional supervisor, 2 levels above Gerald. What's the situation? Sarah explained quickly, showing him the screen. Mr. Patterson's eyebrows rose, but unlike Gerald, he maintained his composure. He looked at Marcus, taking in the worn shoes, the patched jeans, the overlarge jacket. Then he looked at Gerald. Mr. Hutchins, did you attempt to refuse service to this customer? Gerald sputtered, I didn't know, I mean, how could I? He looks like. Like what? Mr. Patterson's voice cut like a blade. Please, finish that sentence. Gerald's mouth snapped shut. Marcus finally spoke, his voice calm but carrying weight. My grandmother was Dorothy Webb. She cleaned houses for 50 years. Started when she was 16. She never owned a car, never bought new clothes, never ate at restaurants. Every single dollar she could save, she invested. She taught herself about stocks, about compound interest, about patience. She lived in the same small house for 40 years, wore the same coat for 20 winters. He paused, looking at Gerald. She told me people would judge me. She said they'd see my shoes, my neighborhood, my skin, and decide I was worth nothing. She made me promise something. She made me promise I'd walk in here with my head high, that I'd demand respect, and that when people like you laughed at me, I'd remember that dignity isn't about what you wear. It's about who you are. The lobby remained silent. The woman with pearls was crying quietly. Marcus pulled out the envelope, placed it on the counter. I'm here to set up a foundation. The Dorothy Webb Education Fund. $4 million to provide college scholarships for kids from low-income families. Kids who wear second-hand shoes and patched jeans. Kids who people like him, he pointed at Gerald, would throw out without a second thought. Mr. Patterson nodded slowly. Mr. Hutchins, you're suspended effective immediately. We'll schedule a formal review, but I suspect your employment here is finished. Sarah, please help Mr. Webb with whatever he needs. Use conference room A. Offer him coffee, water, whatever makes him comfortable. Gerald opened his mouth to protest, but Mr. Patterson's expression stopped him cold. Leave. Now. Gerald walked toward the exit, his confident stride replaced with a shuffling uncertainty. Every person in the lobby watched him go. The security guard held the door open, and for just a moment, Gerald's eyes met Marcus's. There was no apology there, just shock and resentment, the look of a man who couldn't understand how the world had turned upside down. Sarah guided Marcus to a private room, her earlier nervousness replaced with genuine warmth. Mr. Webb, I apologize for what happened. That was unacceptable. You didn't do anything wrong, Marcus said. You checked. You verified. That's all anyone should do. Over the next hour, they processed the paperwork. The foundation documents were drawn up, signatures collected, accounts established. Mr. Patterson personally oversaw everything, ensuring Marcus received the service befitting any valued customer, regardless of net worth. As Marcus prepared to leave, Sarah walked him to the door. Your grandmother must have been an amazing woman. She was the strongest person I ever knew, Marcus said. She told me this story once. When she was young, a store owner refused to sell to her because of her skin color. She didn't get angry. She didn't shout. She just worked harder, saved more, and 20 years later, she bought that store. Changed it into a community market that served everyone fairly. He looked back at the bank lobby, at the marble and crystal and brass. She taught me that the best response to hate isn't more hate. It's success. It's proving them wrong by being exactly who you are, unapologetically. Marcus pushed through the glass doors, his worn shoes squeaking one last time on the pristine floor. The morning sun was higher now, warming the street. He had $400,000 set aside for himself, enough for college, for a future his grandmother had built penny by penny, house by house, investment by investment, but the real inheritance wasn't the money. It was the lesson. Stand tall. Speak clear. Never let them make you small. Behind him, the bank continued its business. Customers came and went. But something had shifted, some small crack in the comfortable prejudice that said you could judge a person by their shoes, their clothes, their appearance. Marcus Webb walked down the street, his head high, carrying his grandmother's legacy not just in a bank account, but in his spine, his voice, his unshakable sense of worth. The balance wasn't just money. It was justice. It was hope. It was the quiet power of dignity that no one could take away.